Good morning, everybody. 8:10 a.m. It is March 7th. Welcome to my channel. Crazy day in the markets. Wild, whipsawy day. Market started to first, initially, what I said in the pre-market. It went all the way back down to the most traded price. And both markets waiting for Powell. So it was overbought in the morning. Uh, and then that happened. And then the market rose, broke highs. And then the market sold off into the not into yeah basically sold off, and the market really couldn't. It popped up a little bit at the end, but that's basically what happened. Then Powell's testifying again today. Nvidia is a monster. It's over 900 right now. So semis are the name of the game again. A lot of upgrades this morning. AMD actually got a downgrade, but a lot of price target raises on semis. So some earnings, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. All right. Um, Without further ado, oh, it's got a big order hitting the tape there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steve Gonzalez. Use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the market, along with gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, anchored VWAPs, and the most traded price of the year, the rolling month. That's the rolling year as well, the rolling week, and the previous day. It just helps me find structure in the market. Um, when all those things line up, I tend to pay attention and look at the granularity, what's going on with internals and the order flow, and then make a decision of I'm gonna put a trade on or not. That's basically the gist. Okay. And of course, if you like my content, give me a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Okay. You could always follow me at Gonzo719. All right. Let's get right into the futures watch list and see what's going on. All right. Today, Ether and Bitcoin taking a little bit of a back seat. The Nasdaq's up 0.41. Gold finally is breaking out. Beat that triple top. Now it's at all-time highs. So very happy with that. ES is up 0.24. 30-year bonds being bought. Okay. Uh, Dow is up 0.07. 10-year yield isn't report yet, but I would expect that would fall a little bit. Dollars down 0.17. Silver's down 0.24. Crude roped you into that. Thought you were breaking out. Came all the way back to the most traded price. So I got my eye on crude. I'm not sure now, with especially election year, Strategic Petroleum Reserve. I don't know if they're going to try to keep crude down. Not sure. All right. So VIX is down 0.55%. Bitcoin's down 0.65%. Ether's down 2.53. A little profit taken probably in Ether. All right. Let's move on to the Mag 7 Plus, or what there is left of the Mag 7 Plus, because a lot of them are pulling back. It's just very odd because you have Apple, Google, Tesla pulling back, and the market isn't really shrugging it off, which is crazy because what if they start roaring again? So it just a nuts thing for the market. Okay. Leader this morning. This was up over 2% earlier, but it's at 902 Nvidia. So Nvidia's a beast. That is confirmed beast. Um, that's what's going on there. Okay. Now Roblox up 1.58. Coin's up 0.89. Coin finally not up over like a million% in the morning. They're still up though. AMD, like I said, got some price target raises along with Nvidia, but also got a downgrade this morning, which is interesting. Snow 1.6. Let's go to, is there a laggard? Yes, there is. Baba, it's down 1.15. Tesla is getting obliterated. It's at 173 right now. That is crazy. Crazy. All right, moving over to top sector stocks. Okay. Costco reporting earnings today. Actually, did they report today or they do after the market close? After market today. So you can see that their IV is at 100. That's because it's earnings. Okay. Now, let's look at the next leader. All right, no Qualcomm. All right, United Healthcare has been beaten down. Is that going to catch a bid soon? Not sure. They got that ransomware. They got that high medical costs. Um, what's the other thing? I'm forgetting the other thing. Oh, the antitrust lawsuit. That's what it was. All right, that's what's going on there. Only lagger is Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly. That might be because of Novo Nordisk. Uh, so we'll have to see. Let's go to my swing trade list. Burlington reported earnings. They beat earnings. Okay, Palantir's up 3.7. Micron has gotten an upgrade. Shake Shack also got an upgrade. Then you got semis. Taiwan Semiconductor. ARM also got some love. I believe they got a price target raise. Intel. This is all semis. Avgo, Broadcom. They're reporting earnings. Um, let's see here. What else? These are all the one percenters. Let's look at the laggards. VKTX, Mara. What is that? I think it's Skyworks. Nordstrom, Lucid. Not a lot really of negativity, really that much. Not really. Okay, go back up. All right. What's in the news? Let's go over to sectors. The semis up 1.34%. It's just ridiculous. With technology, with communications. All right. Is there a lagger? No. Okay. Strongest index in the morning is the Qs, up 0.6. Okay. SPY is up 0.39. IWM is up 0.19. Dow is the laggard. Okay. That's what's going on there. We can get into economic calendar and market news. Okay. Let's do that. Hey, where did that go? Give me one sec. I just got to fix one of my windows here. And then we'll continue. Oop. Okay. Let's move over to some news. All right, that's some news. Let's go over to the economic calendar. Now, a couple things to note here. Fed Kashkari was interviewed after the market, and he was basically saying he expects maybe 2 rate cuts, maybe no rate cuts. He's going to be data dependent, as what the Fed's saying. So he was kind of like a little hawkish. Powell didn't really drop any bombs yesterday. Maybe today he will. So that's what's going on there. Now today we have jobless claims at 8:30. Have to see how that pans out. Forecast 217. Looking for previous was 215. So obviously, the bigger the number, the more bullish. If it falls, it's a little bearish. Fed Powell is continuing his testimony today at 10 a.m. and then Fed Messer speaks at 11:30 a.m. So they'll be speaking basically at the same time at one point. Okay. Then tomorrow is non-farm payrolls and unemployment, which is big. Okay. Now, as far as news, some little news. Victoria's Secret is down 30%. Okay. They missed earnings, bad guidance. That New York Community Bancorp is just unbelievable. It's fell like 80% overall. There's that Novo Nordisk. Okay. Competitor with the Ozempic. They're coming out with some new drug. All right. Rivian stock up 2%. Nordstrom fell 1. We talked about Burlington. So that's what's going on there. Okay. Is the juice got anything for us? I'll just refresh it. See if the juice has anything. Not really. Okay, so this is what Fed Kashkari said here. He says, I'm currently thinking 2 cuts, potentially 1 for 2024. If that was done during market, you would have had a nice little sell there, but it was done after the markets closed. So that was the highlight from what he said. Okay. Now, as far as earnings go, all right, what did we have after the close yesterday? Victoria's Secret, just talked about it. It's the only one I really cared about, or the only one I really recognize, really. And then this morning we have Kroger, Big Lots, Burlington, American Eagle, BJ's, Billy. Those are who reported this morning. After the close today, Broadcom, that's a big mover in the NASDAQ. Okay. Costco, Marvel, DocuSign, Gap. Okay. More retail stuff. That is after the close. Okay. Moving on to the daily charts. Let's do it. Let me just pull up our lovely SPY. Okay. Channels in place. Okay. Yesterday was like I wouldn't say there was much to write a poem about yesterday. Let's look at yesterday. What did we do? Went up there, and we opened here, closed here. Right? Up, down. Kind of a nothing day. Okay. Went into this gap, actually filled the gap. That's what we did do. We filled that gap, and that was where we sold off. Okay. And where are we at now? All right. Where are we at now? 511.73. 511.73. What does that bring us? Right. Yesterday's highs. Right now. Yesterday's highs. So that's where we're at there. Didn't even come down to the 90 May daily. All right. Let's look at the Qs. Qs. What do we do? Qs couldn't fill this gap. Okay. Gap's still above us. See, the SPY filled the gap. Qs could not. All right. Qs could not. So opened here, closed here. Where is the Qs now, though? 441.34. 441.34 is at the highs, above last month's highs. Okay. Do they fill the gap today? Does Powell say something hawkish, dovish? We have to see. Basically, nothing burger. Okay. We hit the 20-day simple moving average, bounced off, hit the 9 EMA daily yesterday, closed kind of right by it. And now this morning, obviously, the Qs is hot. I mean, NVIDIA's charging along. So that's what's going on there. Now, as far as the 10-year yield, it's just the bonkers. Its bond market's very crazy. Let's look at that together. So 10-year yield. 10-year yield right now is down 0.51. It's down 0.51. You can see now, this is interesting. When the market was rallying that whole time, the yields were rising. Okay? That usually doesn't happen. Now the yields are falling back. Bonds are being bought. Okay, yields are falling. Okay, usually that will put less weight on equities. But just so very interesting here. Below the 200-day moving average, below the 50 now. Okay, price the yields are almost down to 4.07. This means TLT is rising. So that's what's going on in the bond market right now. If we look at VIX, you had that one pop, a couple pops actually, here and yesterday, right? But now we're down here at 14.36. We need to get over 15. That's what you need to get over. Get some real fear in the market. Okay, if you want some more volatility. All right. So now let's look at the dollar. Dollar's taken a little bit of a dip, just like yields. Okay, so got a nice uptrend, broke the 200-day moving average. Now we're at the 50-day moving average. All right. Now gold is on a little bit of a run. Now, if you have a weaker dollar and the yields are falling, usually that's a good sign for the markets. But the markets have been kind of correlated with the dollar, and so it's like weird. It's like they're correlated. Usually they're inversely correlated. So that's what's going on there. Now we can go straight into market profile. All right, let's go straight into the market profile. Let's get that set up. All right, let's look at our structure together. And we got our little breakout high here. Start established value there. Now we have the most traded price of the week down here, 51.10. Another little distribution there, and then there's the bottom from the other day. Very ugly profile. Okay, where's price? Price is at 51.30. Okay, 51.30. So the market's setting up. All right, in supply. Market's above the anchor VWAPs of the month and the week. All right, and we're in this area of choppiness. All right, now you have the most traded price of the month here, and the most traded price of the week here. So this area, like I said, if we stay around this area, it's just coiling for a big move. Okay, ultimate balance now. Ultimate balance. Everybody's trading in this area. All right, that just means that somebody, long or short, is going to get hurt. That's how that works. Okay, and you can see yesterday we just went like this, came down, went like this, and then came all the way down, and then closed back right here. So, wild day. Okay, wild day in the markets. Now, let's look at where we bounced off of. Notice where we bounced, right in the overnight, right at the most traded price of the month. Right there. Right there, the most traded price of the month. All right, and our profile is very balanced. Here's the open of the overnight. You have this much long to this much short. However, because I know that the overnight started out and pushed down, let's look at this pushed out, right? It opened here and we went all the way down, came all the way down, right? So now there's buyers from the lows now. So even though it's balanced, right, now we have longs at these lows. So it is a little bit, there could be a correction coming again. Okay, because that's what happened yesterday. I talked about a pre-market. I said in both markets that waiting for Powell, you could get a nice little, because you were close to 100% net long earlier, and that's what did happen. Okay. All right. So let's look at this chart together. So here's yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows. Okay, we closed here. Now we have overnight low, overnight high. Now if this market comes up and tests yesterday's, the overnight high equals the yesterday's highs, that is going to be a weak high, susceptible to be broken. Okay, will be a weak high. This is now a week low, this overnight low, because now coincides with the most traded price of the month. Okay, we're in supply right now. Okay, so generally when you're in balance, you're going to typically revert to the mean. So like I said yesterday, see, we filled the gap in the ES, and then we went back, right? And then we came all the way down here, right? And then look, overnight came down to the big level. Then we went back up, right? If nothing happens today with Powell, we could do this and come right back until finally one day we break out up or down. Okay, So now here we go. Look, it's pushing up. So we're gonna get our week high. Okay. So let's look at structure today. All right. So could this push up? Yes, it can. 8:30 jobless claims just came out. So why don't we look at that? Okay, we'll look at that together and just see what was the jobless claims. What did they do? All right. Let's see. I don't think it's nothing burger really. So initial jobless claims, forecast 217, 217 actual. So right in line. So nothing. Okay, so nothing might be more on the bullish side maybe, but now we have that week high. Like I said, right up to yesterday's highs. Now it's above the VWAP of monthly VWAP and the weekly VWAP. So let's talk about possible scenarios now. Okay. Now I'm going to start with the short side just because we're at the other end of the balance right now. Okay. So we have supply yesterday's high. That's a week high. Okay. If you even punch through this and come back through it and you're still in the supply, I definitely believe we can do again, come back to these monthly VWAPs and week to date VWAP, at least go here. This is the most traded price of yesterday and the most traded price of the week. Definitely can go right there for Powell before Powell speaks. Okay, get a little more. You could possibly go down to the lows of overnight, and then wait for Powell. You probably get a bounce up, and we do this for Powell. Okay, now there is supply up above. I don't know if we get that high, but if we do, it's still another case of hit that supply and you start getting weak. You wait for Powell. Okay, that's what I'm seeing as far as there. Let's look at longs. Right now, you have demand here. You have a weak low here. So really, I wouldn't be interested. The only thing I could see is if one thing. Okay, now we have Powell talking, so this is why it makes it a little difficult. I would wait here to get a break, go into that supply, fail, come back, and now that possibly could be a move. I'm not a big fan of that, but that's one scenario that's possible. Okay, another one is we do revert back to the mean, come all the way down here, test this level, and that's the long. Okay. Now again, this level's everything for the bears because if you do break that, it's bad. And you could break this support that has not really been broken right here and the gap below us, right? So that's really what's going on there. All right, as far as the NASDAQ, let's look at that. Okay, here's the NASDAQ. Let's look at structure together. The structure, okay, the structure. You still have the most traded price of the week here. Then you got, this is all value. 70% of the trade of the last week is here. Very ugly profile. Okay, very ugly. All right, what do we have going here? Okay, here's the big level. Most traded price of the year and the month right here, 18,015. All right, so we're above that. Price is here. Again, we went all the way down here and now everybody's long from the lows. Okay, we're coming up to yesterday's highs. Remember, this gap is still here, yet to be filled. There's that gap. So there's a lot of supply there. If we happen to break, right, now look, it's almost going to form a weak high here as well at the gap. So we could open, boom, fill the gap right into supply, and then possibly go back down here for Powell. Okay. So here's our structure right here. There's the highs from yesterday. There's the lows. There's overnight low. There is the overnight high. Pretty big session for the overnight. Okay, pretty big. We're going to have a weak high here. I feel like we're going to push up. Okay, over week to date VWAP, over the monthly VWAP, over this monster level. So do we revert to the mean? Okay, have to see. Okay, so we're going to go right into scenarios here. So we should get a weak high here. I think this is susceptible. You got supply there. If we manage to break that and fill that gap and we come through the open, we're probably going to test here. Okay, and wait for Powell. Okay, if Powell talks and we kind of stay in this area and we break this demand, that's the only way I see maybe filling the gap down below us. Okay, remember, this is a different kind of day because it's like you have not 30 minutes before Powell talks. Okay, all right, that would be short. Okay, long, we're talking about, again, you could fill the gap, push down, and you start holding up here, right? And Powell's talking, and then you could start to make another move, maybe go to the most traded price of the week and get some lift off. Okay, you also could come down, wait for Powell, and we do this. Whoop, come into this demand, come above the most traded price of the year in the month, and we start holding, and then that makes the move. Okay, that's what I'm looking for today. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Please give me a like. That would be much appreciated. All right, you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. Okay, and please subscribe and set an alert. Do this every day. Come join me, learn the profile with me. It's really an awesome tool. Okay, so that would be about it for me. I like the plan. It's like yesterday. And yesterday, just so everybody to know, that pre-market plan that I said happened. It's just that it happened right close to 10 a.m. and I was like, Jolt's jobs came out and then Powell was supposed to start speaking, but it did right before that start to really heavily sell. And I was ready and I was like, oh my God, I would love to short this. And I was like, you know what, smart thing is not to get in it at 10 a.m. So that's the reason I hesitated there. I don't want news to just kill my trade. And that's not smart. Over the long run, it's not smart. It could work out. Would have worked out yesterday, but there's times where it doesn't work out. All right, so that's it for me. I wish everybody have a good day. Maybe I'll do a midday update to see what I'm looking at. Maybe what Powell says something, to note. And stay green, everybody. And I'll see everyone tomorrow.